Hello, figured I would do something on saving, uh, in hopefully in a practical way. I just got an empty scene here and I brought EasySave in. I haven't done anything else to it. I haven't turned on, you're able to use the legacy values. If you prefer that way, fly at it. I brought it in, I haven't touched anything else. So what we'd need is, first of all, we need two scenes. Okay, so we'll start with this scene here. We're gonna have we just need some basic setup first. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna create something that looks somewhat like, let's say, a menu. So we have a panel. We're gonna create a couple buttons in it. Maybe we'll have my caps lock is on. Say new game, and let's just duplicate that, and make a few slots here. I don't really know if we need to bother with more than two. I'm sure two, well, we'll go with three. Three is just such a common number. And I'm going to create another one of these. Called continue. So I'm just going to label these so I don't get all confused. Oh my god. New game. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take these three and just deactivate them. So we have that. And I'm going to put an FSM right on the head of this thing. And we're going to have a button array. This is in the newer Playmaker, by the way. And we have 5 buttons. So I'm just going to drag all those into it. Okay, so we have new game. Continue. Slot 1. Slot 2. Slot 3. And if we hit new game, we will just load a scene at index 1. And if we continue, if that button gets hit, then we want to activate we could activate solo, I suppose, but we want to activate, if I was smart I would just use a variables for these, but no biggie. We're going to activate those, and we are going to also deactivate that. And let's deactivate that one. And we should probably make another button. And we will stick that. Oh, where's our bottom one sitting at? There. So let's put him there, I guess. I mean, that's not ideal, I suppose, but okay, so the other thing we need to do then is copy and paste before that, and let's, whoops, okay, system went kind of wonky there for a second, so we're going to do that. I'm just going to finish and go back, and we need a new button because we added it, our back button. Okay, so he's going to flop those, and I'm going to copy that one. And we're just going to flip all of these. Okay. And then for the slots, we should have those deactivated if there's nothing there to load, which is going to be in here. Alright, so, okay, just for starters, let's see what happens. So if I hit new game, it should load even though we haven't set that part up. If I hit continue, brings that up, and apparently I didn't fill that in, and my back button looks weird. Except for, I totally messed that up. So that guy, alright, so he's sitting, he can sit there. And slot 2 can sit there. Slot 3 can sit right where it's at. The back button can sit here, and apparently we decided to move the text to it. There we go. Alright, some organizational issues. We continue, we got these, we go back, we got this. We go new game. I don't know if it's actually going to load anything. It shouldn't. Oh, I think it is. I probably shouldn't have hit that. Okay. So there's that. And I'm going to save that, go to the build settings, and that's from a different tutorial. I'm going to add the save scene as 0, new scene, save as save scene 2. And let's build settings and add this one in, and he's now number 1. There we go. So if I, oh, that's from a different tutorial, save scene, there we go. So now, there we go, we're in save scene 2. Okay. The idea of what we need for a saving and loading system. So first, before we get into what we actually need to transfer over, let's transfer over to actually do something. So I'm just going to very quickly make a little terrain, come out of 2D, and we'll create a capsule. 0, whoa. Alright. And let's just move the camera so we're over in this area. And then I'm going to add a couple cubes just so we have some reference on position. Okay, and I don't feel like seeing those cubes, so I'm just going to hide them in here. And we'll just do a very quick, very simple get rid of the capsule, put on a character, add, get axes, vector, those are good. Let's go reference to the camera. Vector meg. Not really going to spend much time on this portion. This is just for I don't know, so you can see, right? 'Cause now if we hit play, at least now we can move around. Extremely slowly, but we can move around. So the other thing we want to do is we're going to call this one move, and we're going to get, we'll say an FSM here. Now we'll call it health, for example, and he's going to have a integer, because I like using integers, called health, and its default value, we'll say, is 100. Now if we create, say, another cube, and I'm going to just over here quickly create another material. That's going to be hurt, red, somewhat transparent. Take this little cube we just made, give him that, make him a trigger, expand him out. And now, give him an FSM, which will have a trigger enter with player, int. Oh, we do have one of those. If you don't have this action, this is on the ecosystem. I'm just going to come over here so we can see some values changing. Okay, and that's going to be from the player and finish there. So the other thing we will do is he needs a tag player. Let's get not a camera. I totally didn't mean to do that. UI slider. And I'm just going to very quickly go like this, so we have, like I said, I'm just trying to look for a reference, right? So we know our health is max value of 100, and that will be it. So this guy, and I'm just going to set slider value every frame. It's not the best thing to do when you're dealing with UI, but In the case of just that we want to see what's happening, this is fine. Right, so now we have this little guy, and I didn't clear some things, right? So if I go into it, we're going to lose health, right, every time we go in and come out, because it's a on trigger enter. Okay, so we want 0, 0, because that looks silly. There we go. Now the bar actually looks proper. Okay. There we go. So let's just save that. So we have our little mock game here, and we need to know how to create a system that saves. So we're going to need another canvas here. Well, actually don't need another canvas. I'm going to make another canvas. And I'm going to get another panel, and I'm going to just bring this down like this. I'm going to give it something like that. And let's give this one some buttons. It needs, say, a button for save. And we need, let's say, a button for 2 buttons. Let's do a quit and title. So this is just to quit. I don't know why I'm adding these. They're really not going to be part of it. There we go. So there we have that. So we need a way to control this. We're going to do it on this guy. We're going to need a manager anyways, so. So all we're going to do here is another button array. And we have a save, a quit, and a title. So we will add those here. So if we quit, we'll just say application quit. If we do title, we'll load scene 0. And then of course the save. So we need a way to actually turn this thing off and on though. So I'm just going to actually do a variable, drag him right into it, have him start deactivated, get key down, we'll use I guess the escape key. So if we get the key down for escape, we will go to pause, and we can do, as a normal pausing, you would kind of set that like that. And activate our canvas, and then let's go over here like that. So from here, we're going to get key down. Actually, I'm just going to copy this one. I don't have to worry about doing things. Copy and paste. We'll just reuse that event, and we need to go here because we have to, well, I guess I could just duplicate that one too. Copy and paste. So we want this guy to now be deactive, and timescale back to 1. And let's add another button just because I'm picky. Let's add a button up here. Let's scale this guy around a bit. Called close. That could be close. I can deactivate him again, so I know where it's sitting. So this guy now needs a button for close. And if we close, we're just going to do the exact same thing. That way we have two ways. So if we hit play, we can run around, we hit escape, we bring this up, we hit close, it goes away. If I hit escape again. So also we have two ways of closing it. If I quit, we come out of play mode because it's quit the application. If I go back to main menu, we're here. Okay, so that part's all working. So we need a way to save. So if you have slots, let's see. So saving with EasySave, let's see what we have. We could save all, it's really your main things. Yeah, that's pretty much about it that we really need to worry about. There's a lot there, right? There's a lot of things that EasySave can do. So I think saving compared to save all, I mean save all works. I mean save all, if you do save all, you can save your globals, you know, like if we do save this, it saves all of these variables into this key. Okay, I'm not gonna use that. I'm gonna use just the normal save. So actually I'm not even gonna bring that up. So first, when you think of a game, now save systems can get large, keep that in mind. We need, what do we want to get? We have a player. All right, so let's find our player. And we know our player is going to be named player because we have the power to do that, and he's going to have a tag called player. Where's our player? So he's now named player. And this will store into a variable called player. So we have a player. So let's save his position and his health. So let's get FSM int and get position. So we're going to get position of the player. Sure that this guy's above these. We want to get, I'm just going to drag this in for a second, health, new variable, the health of the player. So now that we have this, we have the data. Let's just tuck this over here. We want to save. Now we have slots. So we would need a way that we would have, let's say, a string, and we can call this a slot select. And we're going to default him as slot 1. for now. So we need to save here. So we're going to have, say, a variable called health. So we're going to actually do a string build, and it's going to be two parts. The first part's going to be our slot select. The second part's going to be health. And we don't need a separator. We don't need to add it to the end. But this is going to be our key. So we're going to save our key with health. Okay. And then I'm just going to break this up for each thing. You don't have to do this. I'm just doing it so it's nice and clear. So we need to build a string again and save again. But this time we are going to do slot select and position. Stored as a key, and key will now be position. So that is, we have saved it. Now let's go back here. So if we, for example, we're trucking along here and we say save. Okay, it should save. We didn't put any debug stuff to it. But now if I go, we should do some sort of debug. So it found the player, got the position, it's got his health is 100. It took slot 1, so it made slot 1 position. Oh yeah, we reuse that value. So it saved that, and then we use this part here, right? Slot 1 position, it saved the position. I should almost break that up just so, I mean, it works fine, but so that you guys can see it a little more clear, I guess, would be the better thing to do. Yeah, let's do that. Because that way, you know, we hit this, we hit that, just so you see it go. It's gone. See, it's slot 1 health, it's stored slot 1 health with this value. Slot 1 position, it stored it with this value. Okay, so we need a way to identify a slot. So I think the best thing to do would be, let's save this, and let's open this, and let's go to our normal save scene. Let's create another empty called, I don't know, we'll call him the Grand Master. And the first thing we're going to do is don't destroy on load. Okay, so he'll transfer over. So if we're in this scene and we hit, we want to load slot 1, then we need to set a variable in here and then load the game. And let's do another variable is new game. So if, alright, let's go into this guy, and he can have a reference to him. And there is a singleton manager thing we should add on to that. Is that an action? Single? No, I think it's on the, I think it's on the ecosystem. Okay, well, I'm not going to worry about it for now. It's a detail that goes in after. Oh, my dog's having a nightmare. Must be chasing a bigger dog or something. Who knows? So, anyways, we want to now. Oh, okay, we're on slot 1. We need to give this guy a variable. Oh, geez, where are we? Oops. So let's give this guy a string called slot. And is new game. I must have put that into a different FSM. I meant to put it in this one. Did I put it over here? Oh yeah, I put it into this guy. Okay, well, we don't need it there. We're going to use this guy. So, if this is done, for starters, let's set FSM bool on, why do we have 2? That's weird. I must have dragged it in twice. On game variables is new game to true. Make sure to put that up there. So let's paste that into this guy and is false. Set FSM string of the grandmaster game variable slot 1. Then let's copy this, paste it there, and just copy him and paste. Try to hook up these ones, but this one's now going to be slot 2 and slot 3. Okay, we might have to do some singleton manager after that, but let's save that, because now we have, when this guy enters, we're going to give him a tag. Okay, so this guy has a tag, and we need, you know what would be easy to do? Let's just prefab him just to keep references for a minute here. So let's go over to back to our little miniature game scene and just drag him in for a second. So when this guy is going to do a save, he needs to know what slot. So instead of just building this string right away with our default value, he needs to get FSM string, and he needs to find another game object, and this game object's name is grandmaster, and it'll have the tag of grandmaster. Variable like that, and I'm just going to drag him in just for the variable. So we need this. We're going to store that as slot select. So now we find our guy here who has the data, because he's coming over from our first scene. to define a slot. Now, this is just one method. I mean, you always could put it into this thing where you select a slot in here. It's almost easier to do it that way. But for now, this is the way we're going to do this. Right, so he's now doing this stuff. Okay. So the other thing we need to do now is, so he has the variables. So let's go into him. And let's scene get scene properties, I believe. We want the build index. And we can make this everyone at build index if we are 2. And found if current scene is at, okay, one sec here. Alright, so let's just make sure that thing's gonna work. Let's go. Alright, fine. Delete you, bring a new one in. Fuck off. Delete you, go into here. I'm just gonna bring something in, delete it, save you stupid thing. And hit play. So he should have, we are at scene 0. That's not true. I'm pretty sure we are at scene 1. Scene reference, is that scene that? Scene index. Scene at index 2. Let's just make sure we have that. Oh yeah, okay, 0 and 1. So, you know, we're stupid. That's okay. That's okay. Alright. Now let's try that. So he should now be, whoops. That's our do not destroy guy. No, he's still being stupid. Alright. Let's go back into here. Let's not do scene properties. Get scene name. Can do that. Can do it by string. That might work just fine. Oh, is that what I screwed up on? Or is it properties? Yep, properties again. Yeah, I think I did screw that up. Alright, so, okay, go at index 1, the active scene every frame. Okay, so this guy should now go. Now, okay, so I screwed up something there. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to delete him now. So if he has reached this level, right? So in the main scene, this won't fire yet. And we always could do this from other methods, sending events and stuff. So we've come into here, and he has a variable called is a new game. So bool test is a new game. That's true. Or that's false. So now we can just load the values. So now I can just do it all in this one. But I think, because we already have some variables here that we can use in this guy, I'm going to just do this. We're going to make another little guy here called load game. And this is on the manager. Give him a little tag, just called manager. Alright, so let's go into this guy again. So if no, we're going to load values. We need to find game object. Our manager. And we're going to send it an event. Send event. And God, I forget what the FSM's called on that thing. It's just called manager. Load game on the manager. Okay. So the FSM is called manager, and it's called load game. Alright, so in this guy, if he gets this event, what does he need to do? We are going to copy this. I could have just stuck it in there, but whatever. So we're going to get that. Actually, we're not getting these things. We need some of those references. So we need to, again, build strings though. And this time we're loading. So we're going to find the player. And we are going to get key. Nope. Load. Load and load. We're going to load both those things. So we found our player. We're going to load. We need to build a string. Two parts. First part, slot select. Second part is health. No separator, don't add to an end, store as health key. So load health key into health. Okay, let's shrink those. Actually, let's copy that one, put it here before, shrink those again, and slot select and position, and this will be into key, and load value key. You could also do this with like array objects, by the way. I'm just trying to break it up so it's as clear as hopefully as we can make it. So we're going to load those, and now we need to set FSM game. Oh, set FSM int, not game object. Int and position. So of the player, that one. And of the player, he's going to position. So we move him right to the bottom. And with this one, I'm just going to steal the references from that. And now turn it back over to player. Move that one to the bottom. And then go back over here. Okay. Let's clear that out. So, save. Now let's open. Let's go to this. Nope. Whoops, I did it again. So, we hit play. We hit new game. And we are in. And let's get hurt. And stand over here. And let's hit save. Now let's just pause everything. And let's see what this guy's doing. So he should have got that event. So he gets all of this stuff. Oh fuck, that's the load, sorry. He gets all this stuff and he saves. So he didn't find Grandmaster. Whoa. So we need to fix that. Find game object. Did I spell him wrong? I didn't give him the right tag. Okay. We didn't do that. There we go. I messed it up. So, okay, we took damage. We bring that up. We hit save. Let's pause. And let's go. So we found the Grandmaster. We got that stuff. And we're building strings and we're saving values. Now this goes into slot 1 just by default. Right, so now if I go back to main menu and I continue from slot 1, oh, we have 2 Grandmasters. See, this is that singleton problem I was kind of mentioned. I'll have to fix that. So he, yeah, okay. Well, let's fix this singleton manager. And I believe there's an easy fix. Let's just grab both of those. So let's go there, open that. Actually, let's open up this one. There we go. Reference. See if that singleton thing works. If not, we will code it ourselves. It's not a big deal. So we go new game. Let's go back to main menu. Let's come out of here. So we have 1 Grandmaster. Well, we still have 1 Grandmaster. Still have 1 Grandmaster. Okay. So now, yeah. So that default value is we need to fix that up. So if I go new game, and if you go new game, you could also add in a string there and then just use that string, transfer that string over. So you're not using slot 1, slot 2. You use whatever string is in the input field. So let's go and do this again. let's save. And while that is there, let's make sure that that is coming in. Ba-doop. So he runs. Everything's good. And let's go back to main menu. Continue slot 1. No, he did not want to run. Let's see why. He did not find Game Object Manager. This is what we call it, right? Manager. Oh, I didn't tag that guy? Lord, Tundrin. It's not tagging anything today. Alright, let's go over to this and tag him, because we keep forgetting. Alright, let's try that again. So, we go new game, take our damage, we hit save, we go back to main menu, and we go continue from that one. Nope, that one still didn't want to go. So let's check. He still did not find it. He is... Did I spell everything right? Alright, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. We are going to add a little guy right here. And he is going to do a next frame. So he, manager. I'm going to copy that. Go back over to this scene and just make sure that name is correct. And paste it. Okay. Let's go back to that. Play and new game. Let's just check him right away. He is still not finding the manager. So, option 2, since he's being weird, is on start. Let's get owner. Self set game object. Global, new global as manager, and set him as self. And let's just move this up here. I've had issues with those, so let's see. So now, then this guy. Instead of finding, let's set game object. Variable we're setting is manager, and the game object we're using is that manager. Okay, let's see if this will behave for us. Save, play. And a new game, and let's make sure he's gonna get, no, he's still not getting that. Why is he not getting it? I wonder if it's because he's in a do not destroy. Alright, what if broadcast this, I suppose. Okay, so you are not working very nicely. So what if we just do a wait? Let's see what happens if we give him some good solid time. I mean, he should see it. If he doesn't want to see it, we'll just use, I don't know, we'll see if a broadcast works. Can't save if we can't link our two guys together, can we? And still not seeing that. And this guy, now mind you, I did put him, global variables to me have been acting really weird. So I'm curious on if that's because he is technically in another scene. So get rid of him. Let's go back to next frame. Scene. Send active scene changed event. Scene, where is move? Alright, let's go to E. Where is all that stuff under? Scene. Allow scene. Interesting. Could have sworn there was a thing for that. An action. Scenes preload. No. Alright, well. Okay, well, let's try this. Let's do a broadcast. Let's see if that works. So we hit new game, and so that's not going to matter if we broadcast it, I guess. So what we need to know is, does this guy fire off and this guy receive it? So let's just go. No, this guy is not receiving it. So we have another way to do this, because this for some reason is being just stupid. We are going to delete him. That's what we're going to do. We're just going to delete this stupid thing. And instead, we are going to go purely with something else, such as, okay, so we no longer need that or that. And instead, we are going to save a new key. So this new key is going to be called slot, and it is a value string called slot. string. Oops, that didn't work. Set string, there we go. So slot is now slot 1. There we go, and let's copy those. Copy, paste before, and paste before. And on, if it's a new game, says really not the best. I mean, really you should just do pop up an option for which slot to choose, but whatever. We're not about that. So slot 2 and slot 3. I should almost do the bool as well if it's a new game, right? So we need to bool is new, and its default is false, which is great because we can use that. So this one's going to be is new. Is new set bool value. Oh, whoops, that's the wrong way. So is new to false is true. We want that to be true. And we're all above that. So we need those, copy, paste before, but now that's false. Paste before, and paste before. Alright, now let's go over to this guy. Let's save that. And this guy. So on start, this whole global thing ain't working for me, so we don't need it. We're going to load is new. The spelling of this is extremely important, so make sure that you get that right. So is new, we're going to load that into is new, and slot, we're going to load that into slot select. Now, bool test is new is true or is false. So if true, go here. If false, go here. So is this a new game? Yes or no? If it's no, let's load. Delete that guy. We're not using him anymore. I guess we can just go down here. We don't need that. Right, so we're going to find the player and get the data and then deal our stuff. Alright, let's go back over here and go into our save scene. And now hit, so we'll say new game. Take our damage. We save it into the slot. So we close it. We go back to the main menu. We continue slot 1. And the health worked, position didn't. So what did I do to screw that up? So we got that. Did I load the position? I set the player to the wrong position. Alright, let's go back to that. Let's make sure we get this right. Because he needs to go to world position. Okay. That should be just about pretty much it. Okay, so we open scene, save scene. Technically all that data is still there too. I can, so whatever. So okay, there's that. We hit that. We're gonna go stand way over here so it's nice and clear. We're gonna hit save, and then back to main menu, continue, slot 1, the health is still there, position is not. So there, I do have an idea why, because if you look at this, his position, so he's saying, okay, get the position, load it into position. It is 405, 1, 406. And that's not where our player is. Right? That's obviously not happening. And I believe, and I could be wrong about this, and I believe positions and vectors have to go through an extra step because they don't exist in the ways of serializing a vector. It gets serialized by 3 float values, not as a vector. You don't save a vector technically. You save the X, the Y, and the Z separately and then rebuild them. So I think that is happening too quick. So I think all I'm going to do is I'm going to come down over here, and I'm just going to take that and put them over here and just slide in a sneaky next frame. And we will save and we'll open and go into that guy. Okay, let's test. New game. There we go. We took damage. We save. Back to main menu. Continue slot 1. And we still have an issue with position. Health is working. Position's not working. So, are we doing the right thing? Slot select. Slot position. We load the key. So position. And the position is saving in there. And it's, oh yeah. I am so silly. Okay, so I'm using a character controller. Sweet thunder and Jesus. So I can't set his position. I mean, I'm going to anyways because now I'm just, going to do it anyways. So let's get component. First we need a component. So object. We need to get the character controller from Unity Engine. Character controller. So over here, no, and bring it up over here. Put them right at the end, but above the next frame, we are going to get character controller of the player. We're going to set property, and this is only because it's a character controller. If you're using just a physics controller, then you wouldn't have to worry about this part. So we're just going to disable that. We move, and then after we can turn this on, and just to be sure, I'm going to put this in action sequence. Save and open scene. So, okay, new game. We've taken our damage. We come over here, we save, we go back to the main menu, we continue, we go to slot 1, and there we are in this position. And it is still paused. So, I mean, obviously I would have to fix that. So when it loads, it needs to set that time thing back to... So yes, now like I'm over here, right? So if I now come right out of it, hit play again, continue, slot 1, look, there I am. I'm back over here. And if I, let's say hit play, and we'll go, we'll say even load game 3, it's going to take me over there. See, that's where you'd be better off, oh, we are in the right scene. Here, when you go new game, instead of just starting the game, telling it to select a slot, right? Like pop up, let's say UI button, and let's bring this down. Where are we here? Why am I having so much trouble? Okay, so let's go with button 1. And then say button 2 and button 3. So now, let's just take those 3, deactivate those. Let's go over here. Okay, so if we hit new game, we don't want to do this part yet. Instead, we want to activate that guy, paste and paste, and that guy and that guy. We activate those, and we should deactivate the new game, and you know, some of the other stuff, put in the back button and so forth. I don't think I'll worry about that much right now. We just need this to somewhat function. We have 3 more buttons. So now we have 1, 2, and 3. So new event 1, new event 2, new event 3. So, whoops, there's 2, there's 1, whoops, what did I just do there? Transition 3. Alright, so 1, let's go over here. So is new slot 1, cool, works great. Copy, paste, and paste 2 and 3. Okay, so he's 1. Okay, that's going to confuse me. So, okay, 1. Oh my god, that's confusing even more. 2 is up here. Let's just change him now. 2 and 3. This guy's 3. There we go. So now, you would, I mean, I didn't fully do this, so it's not going to look 100% right. We'd get these, and I could say, okay, go to slot 1. Okay, now, save, go back to the main menu. New game, go to slot 2. And because of that thing, so let's do a little more damage, and go stand over here. And save and back to main menu. So let's continue slot 1. Okay, let's back to main menu, continue slot 2. Back to main menu, new game, slot 3, and quit. So that's kind of how we set up a save system using EasySave. It's a fair bit of work, and but when you get used to it, it's not that bad. But the idea, I think, one of the hard things I think players struggle with devs when they struggle with it at the beginning is it's part of the structure. When you're building the game, you have to keep it in mind. How is it all going to come together? And the save system is a very important thing that you need to incorporate right from the beginning. All right, talk to you guys later.